Hey, this is Mr. Hanson. I wanted to look at the divisibility rule for 6, and I wanted to start with a kind of a problem situation. Maybe you're in charge of a city little league team and there are 6 teams, and you have to divvy up the kids on the team, and you want to have an even number of kids so that no one team has more than another team or less than another team. So what numbers of kids would work for you? Well, if you only had 6 kids sign up, that would work. There'd be one for each team. If you had 12 kids sign up, that would work. 18 would work. 24. You might notice I'm just doing the 6 times tables. 30 would work. 36, 42, and so on. So we kind of know all these work because we know our 6 times tables. But let's see if we can find a pattern, and then we can talk about some bigger numbers and determine if they would work or not. So what's going on here? First thing I want you to look at is the units place. You've got a 6, 2, an 8, 4, 0, 6, 2. What do they all have in common? What do those unit digits all have in common? If you said they're even, you're right. So anytime something's divisible by 6, it will be even. This goes back to the divisibility. Well, let me hold on for just a second. Let's talk about 6 and another way to write it. I'm going to write 6 like this: 2 times 3. Okay. So that's why they're all even, is because there's a factor of 2 in 6. So they will always be even. That's actually the divisibility rule for 2, is that you just have to have an even number in the end, then you know it's divisible by 2. So for it to be divisible by 6, you have to have both of these conditions satisfied. It has to be divisible by 2, and it has to be divisible by 3. And in an earlier video, we just proved that if you add up the digits and it's a multiple of 3, then it's divisible by 3. So let's just add these digits up. 1 plus 2, 1 plus 2, that equals 3. 1 plus 8, that equals 9. 2 plus 4, that equals 6. 3 plus 0, that equals 3. 3 plus 6, that equals 9. And so on. And 4 plus 2, that equals 6. So all of these numbers satisfied both those conditions. They were divisible by 2 because they were even numbers. They were divisible by 3 because the sum of their digits added up to a multiple of 3. So let's just put a few numbers up there. Let's go 514, and let's go 621, and let's go 924. Okay, we're going to test these. So first of all, what if 514 kids signed up for these 6 teams? Could we split them up evenly? Well, let's see. Is this divisible by 2? That's the first question. Is it divisible by 2? Well, it's an even number, so yes, it's divisible by 2. And second question, is it divisible by 3? Well, let's add 5 and 1. That's 6, and 4 is 10. Well, 10 is not divisible by 3. So it's divisible by 2, but not by 3. So it's not going to be divisible by 6. Let's try the next one, 621. Well, right away we know it's not even, so it's probably not going to be work. It is divisible by 3 because the digits add up to 3, but it's not an even number. So that one is not going to be broken up into 6 evenly. And finally, 924. Well, let's see. It is even, so that's a good sign. It's divisible by 2. And 9 plus 2 is 11, and 11 plus 4 is 15. So it's also divisible by 6. 924 divided by 6, if you put that in your calculator, you would get a whole number without any fractions or decimals. And then you could partition up each of those that many kids into each of those 6 groups there. Okay, one last thing I want to talk to you about. If you know the divisibility rule for 6, it also works for 15. Okay, so think about 15. It breaks down into 5 and 3. So And there's no other factors besides 5 and 3 and 15 and 1. So if a number is divisible by 5 and it's divisible by 3, you know it's also divisible by 15. Let's try one. Let's try let's see, 240. It's 240 divisible by 15. I guess if you had a calculator, you just punch it in. But let's just test it out here. We know it's divisible by 5 because it ends in a 0. That's to be divisible by 5, you have to end in a 0 or a 5. And we know it's divisible by 3 because 2 plus 4 plus 0 equals 6, and that's a multiple of 3. So if you plug in 240 over 15 in your calculator, you will indeed get a whole number. Okay, so this works with some other bigger numbers too, but I like it with 6 and 15. So good divisibility rules for those two. Thank you and have a good day.